Thank you, gentlemen and ladies. It's good to be here, and it's great to be joining the Big Ten. Without question, we're coming off of a real high by winning the WNIT, and we returned quite a few veterans, and this is without question an experienced team. So we're excited about it. When you look at the Big Ten, I mean, top to bottom, this is the conference that we should be in, perfectly suited for Rutgers, both academically and athletically, and top to bottom, we can just expect real challenging games, and that should be great for our fans and great for the state of New Jersey. So I'm excited to be here. Thank you very much for coming, and we're looking forward to your continued following throughout the year. Questions? Good morning.
Sorry about that. When Tyler came in here last year as a freshman, you were expecting her to do some special things right away. She had a fine season. Can you just reflect on the freshman year that she had and what you're expecting out of her now as a sophomore?
Well, she did have a fine season, and we were expecting fine things, and I think that we were excited and real happy for us and for her. We continue to expect growth. Now, because of the success that she's had, I think she knows where she can go, and she just needs to pick up from where she left off. And there's no question that she's worked extremely hard, and we're looking for her to increase her range. She's actually playing some point guard, which is not what she did last year. It was enough to know just what she needed to do. And so now she knows enough to actually run it sometimes. We want to run as a team. We want to run much quicker than what we were doing. And that can happen when you have people that can handle the ball and that have the vision and can see, out front. So we intend to put our brand of basketball or bring our brand of basketball to the Big Ten. And what is that? Our brand of basketball is to have relentless pressure from 94 feet from one end of the floor to the other end, to score quickly and to attack. And we will look to do just that. And the fact that Tyler is now working at the point guard doesn't mean that she's going to be playing the point guard, because quite honestly, a lot of teams will have specialized positions, just to point, just to post, the 2, 3, whatever. With us, we tend to want to recruit athletes that have skills. And that means that if Tyler got the ball and she kicked it up to Kalia as a wing, that's fine. Or if Benaja, as a big guard, were to have gotten the ball, then we can start to break from that. So we'll continue to do that. We want to play exciting basketball. Yes. Connor?
Oh, thank you. Good morning, Coach.
Good morning, Connor.
How helpful is it for you as the head coach to have so many seniors on the team this year?
Well, that's good and bad. Bad because I don't want to see them graduate. I really appreciate the way they've grown, the way they've bonded as a team. We had a vision. I can tell you that we had a vision. They wanted to play together, and I think that you'll note that the players are from this area, so they've played together either against each other, on the AAU circuit or whatever. So I don't want to see it come to an end. But I want it to end in the most perfect way that it possibly can, and that is that we are able to realize the vision that we shared when they came in. And so it's nice to see that. Brianna Canny is a healthy young lady. I think that you saw some great things from her toward the end of last year. No doubt those were the expectations coming in, but I don't think that most people realized that she had real knee problems, and she had open heart surgery. So what are you expecting? You know what I mean? Like, she's healthy now, and so she's further along in the year, and so she's gotten the experience, and she's running the point as well. So you're saying, well, okay, Tyler's running the point. Well, what happened to Essie? Essie's running the point too. So if you can play the point, you can play all the positions, and that's the idea. Let's get people out there on the floor that know what they're doing, and let's get it done. Danny.
Good morning, Coach.
Danny.
How are you?
Hi.
So Brianna Canty in that championship game against UTEP hits a huge three late in the second half, and I know that you wanted more perimeter game this year, and you get the 2 junior college transfers. What do they bring to the table in terms of increasing your pop on the perimeter?
I love the junior college transfers, and I say that because Cynthia and Natalie Parsons and Cynthia Hernandez are outstanding 3-point shooters, and it's so good to see that. We were scrimmaging yesterday, for example, and the two of them were on one team, and it was amazing because we couldn't afford to drop in. It made Rachel happened to have been playing on that team yesterday, and it made it much easier for her because there weren't other bodies around her, because as soon as they dropped down, she was kicking it out and they were knocking down a three. So it's exciting. It's really exciting to have that element, and that's something that we recognize hasn't been as consistent as it needs to be. So I think that we're going to be looking to take more threes without question. And the thing that I like with them is, one, they're a perfect fit. This really is a great family team. They enjoy each other. When they say family, they mean that. They're always calling me or telling me that one person is picking on the others, like sisters, big sisters picking on little sisters, and that kind of thing. So they enjoy each other, and it's obvious that they respect and love each other, and that is the first sign that you have to look for when you're talking about people getting along together on the court and off the court. So they're bringing an element to the game that we appreciate, and that's going to be major for us. And the fact that they're junior college is even more important, because a lot of the basic things that you would normally have to teach, high school, senior, you don't have to tell them as much. They know a lot more. They're bright. They catch on very quickly. They're working hard. They're willing subjects, so they understand that it's both parts of the game. It's not just the shooting, it's all the other aspects. So they're doing it, and to our surprise, and we're really happy about this. Let me include Ashley DeJune as well as Sharita Parker. I'm ecstatic with them, because these two are the only true freshmen. They've not had any college experience, but they embrace what's being introduced. They ask good questions. They're working hard. I just like to make up. This is a great group of young ladies, and no one's assuming that, I'm the star. It's not even about that. It's about them sharing a ball, about them committing themselves to a philosophy, and knowing that yes, it was great. We were excited and proud of the fact that we won the WNIT, but we also have other goals, and so those goals are upward. And we're not going to be held by anything. No one can put more pressure on us than what we'll put on ourselves. But if anyone thinks that we're satisfied, they're sadly mistaken. We have some other things to do, because we quite frankly think and believe that the NCAA probably made a mistake, and we'll have to demonstrate that.
Good morning, Coach.
Good morning, and how are you?
I'm great, thank you. How has your preparation as a coach changed at all, if it has, since you've joined the Big Ten going into the season?
Well, I wish I could answer that in another way, but I can say, think about this. We were in the Big East, we were in American Conference, and now we're in the Big Ten. So for those seniors, they've gone through 3 conference changes. That's a monster. And we are the school that has the greatest distance, as you know, to cover. And so while the other schools within the Big Ten will prepare for us in Maryland, we have to prepare for all of the other schools. That's a lot of work. So honestly, what we have to do is to own what we do, and not get so worked up about, how it's being played in the Big Ten, because I think that it would be too much and it would be overwhelming. I think that what I'm asking my coaches to do is to give me a concept of what's going on. I think that in years past, we do know this. They are highly skilled. These athletes are highly skilled. So, for example, I was at a Big Ten conference meeting 4 or 5 days ago, and they were showing various clips and asking the coaches, all of us, to comment on our team. And I'm seeing centers and power forwards, serious stretch forwards that knocking threes down like, whoa, that's just another day at the park, or the movements that's there. So we're a little different team, but they're different, and they do what they do, and they own that. So there's a lot of ways to win a basketball game. So for right now, we were trying to work more in concepts, and we just have to take it one game at a time. I know that sounds cliche, but that's what we're going to have to do, and we've got to learn a whole new system, and it's going to be a work, but we'll get it done. I can tell you this: we'll have time on the plane, getting ready for the next window.
To build off what you just said, you coached in the Big Ten for years. The conference hasn't changed all that much in terms of the style of play. Have you tried to convey to your players just how these other Big Ten teams operate?
For sure. I mean, I'm not going to be familiar with the physical surroundings of Michigan, Michigan State, Ohio State, and all that. I've been there, done that. I know about that. But keep in mind that players evolve, which you all know. And coaches, you don't study so much the players, but you study the coach. And all of these coaches have changed. So, they're going to bring a different mindset there as well. So, while it may be true that you're probably getting a little different player, for example, from DePaul or UConn or, Louisville and that kind of thing. Like I said, you're getting a highly skilled, highly executed team. For example, when I coached at Iowa, what I would do is, and we were the #1 team in the country several times. We were the team that went to the Final Four, Elite Eight on the whole thing. And so what is it that caused us to have that kind of success at a national level? It was that we knew that we could get highly skilled athletes. So the 4s and 5s were highly skilled. They're knocking shots down at the 3 and 4 point range. The work ethic is incredible. The coaches spend a lot of time developing the fundamentals of the game. Okay, and if you've got a shooter, you seriously have a shooter when you start talking about the Midwest. Yet, in addition to that, for example, Michelle Edwards, who is on our staff here, became National Player of the Year. Well, she's a break ankle guard from Boston. Okay, so it was those combinations of players' skills. It's much like if you're looking at a football team. Let me tell you something. If you were a running back, for example, you might concern yourself with a certain type of team in terms of what it can do to aid your game, if you understand what I'm saying. So with us, this is what's happening here now with the Big Ten, but they're recruiting and they're getting the skilled players. We're different and they're going to be different. We're different and they're going to be different. And hopefully we can bring our brand that can overcome what it is that they're doing. But we're going to be constantly evolving, for sure. But I do know this. Even if you look at Connecticut's team, they have, if you will, athletes and they have skilled basketball players. It's not just athletes, if you understand. There's a combination of all of that. So I think that's what we probably have now. We have basketball players, we have athletes, and we have skilled positions. And so we've just got to test that and see what happens. But I like what we got. We're going to be okay. I don't think that you guys are going to be embarrassed at all.
Good morning, Coach.
Hi, Garrett.
I just wanted to know, basically, it's been a long time since that NIT win. You've had a pretty long off season. What specifically has this team improved on from a team standpoint? And has there been anyone that has stood out to you that has kind of, made large strides and improvements?
Yes. Within the group, let me say this. The posts have really improved a lot, and we needed that because, as I was sharing with them, if we could have gotten 20 points and 15 rebounds between the three, Ariel, Rachel, as well as Krista. If we'd gotten that, then easily we would have been quite far down in the NCAAs. We needed that. So, but I like the way they've worked, and I should say, really, it's a health issue as well. Krista has been incredible. Just the things that I'm seeing her doing, the patience and finishing on shots, the passes that she's making and the likes. So Krista, as you saw in the games, was many times coming out of the game with a pained look on her face because she had a lot of pain. Micaiah and the sports management group has done an incredible job of that. Now, in addition to that, Ariel Butts, if you ever stood here and watched practice, she would limp. She was always limping. Well, she was limping actually when we brought her in. They talked about a catch behind her knee. I look at her now. She's lost the weight. She is toned down. She is much more skilled, and she's running with a smooth gait, and she's playing much more confidently. So overall, I think that the post, and I like the way that Rachel is showing up as well. So I feel real good about that core. Continued work, but it's a marked difference. The other is, you mentioned someone that, Danny maybe, that Brianna knocked down a crucial 3 in that last game. Well, keep in mind that if you ask Brianna, would she have taken that shot, was she comfortable with the 3 at any point in her career, from the high school All-American and all that, the answer would be no. But because she was injured, because she had an open heart surgery, and she had the anterior cruciate, she lost a year of actually playing. That was the best thing that could have happened. So she comes back much more reflective, and it allowed her to develop the skills and the confidence. And as she shared, she and I sat at courtside the other day, and she was like, wow, Coach, I'm just going to pick up where I left off, because I do believe that she has a destiny that is to be fulfilled. And she can be the great person and player that people talked about and who we dreamed about. And she was saying, I said, well, what was it? At what point did you know that you've arrived? And she said, I began to feel that toward the end of the year. Just confident, with the way she's been incredible. She's been playing extremely well, and we've played her at the point. And in order to play the point, you got to know all positions. So that's good. I love like I said, the veteran players with the transfer players, Natalie and Cynthia. They're confident. Let me just say it like that. So we've got to continue to work on being confident. We will continue to improve upon the things that we needed to do, what we asked, skill that we asked all of our players to bring to us, was the consistency of the 3-point play, 3-point shot better. So we're looking for that. And in addition to that, then we recruited that particular skill so that we can open this game up a little bit more. So we're coming along. We're coming along.